Hari ni aku decide to do an educational vlog. So, kalau kau ingat, aku dengan Harip pergi ke Japan untuk attend an event. This time, it's similar but unique in its own way. Because it's in Malaysia. Harip patut ada sekali tapi malangnya date kita clash, so aku go solo. Here, we are at Icos Illuma I punya launch event. Remember the last time aku tanya korang, boleh ke Malaysia kurangkan jumlah perokok yang kita ada? Sebab apa aku perasan sejak aku balik Malaysia, cara kita canggah perokok berbeza. Malaysia cara dia prevent ataupun nak kurangkan orang merokok adalah dengan restriction. Jangan rokok sini, awak akan kena saman dan sebagainya. Asyik restriction je. So, effective ke restriction? Jom kita bandingkan dengan Japan. Walaupun diorang also have their own restrictions, tapi diorang punya main approach is through education. Ni bukan a restriction video, this is an educational one that will probably help us better understand what made Japan closer to a smoke-free nation and how we can follow suit. Seeing the success that they had in Japan and other countries, Icos aims to bring the same visions and teachings back to Malaysia. But the question is, what are their teachings? Well, okay, simple je. Kita start dengan rule number 1. Kalau awak tak merokok, jangan start. Icos has this idea that if people never smoked before, then they should never start. You know, I've wondered why for a while, then it suddenly hit me. Although small doses of nicotine is presented in some plants tau, like in potatoes, tomatoes, semua tu ada nicotine tau. But the effect is different compared to the people who smoke. See, nicotine that comes from tobacco consumption is a lot more addictive. But it's not what makes you sick. The addiction, however, makes it so hard to quit. So, which is why we go back to rule number 1. Kalau awak tak merokok, jangan start. Education is more important than meaningless restrictions. I mean, yes, restrictions are there to put fear in your heart. Tapi, fikir macam ni. Kalau kita ada adik kan, and dia suka keluar malam, obviously kita akan cakap kat dia, jangan keluar malam. And nanti dia akan tanya, kenapa? So apa kita akan buat is kita akan takutkan dia. Oh, sebab nanti ada hantu datang ambil. And it might be effective for a while. Because once dia dah berani, and tiba-tiba nak jadi a ghostbuster, it doesn't work anymore. Same thing here. It's important for us to educate them, so diorang ni faham sangat-sangat the effects of apa diorang nak buat ni. And then they can make a more conscious decision based on the information they've accessed. But hey, I've been talking for quite a while. Let me show you the event, okay? The launch of the new Icos Illuma I here in Malaysia. And that's a good sign because Malaysia is finally taking steps towards making a change. The managing director of Philip Morris Malaysia and Singapore, Naim Shahab Khan, said that the aim is to deliver science-based, smoke-free alternatives to all adult smokers who would otherwise continue smoking. See? Nampak tak? Adult smokers. Meaning, if you're not already smoking, then Icos is not for you. Do not start, okay? At the event, I got to see new products up front, and it was cool. The innovation and features of this device, it was specifically crafted based on the habits of smokers and existing Icos users. It was so cool. One of the new features was a pause button that allows you to pause up to 8 minutes in between usage. Sebab, yelah, kadang-kadang kita baru nak start guna and then tiba-tiba life comes along. Kita have to do something urgent. And takkan kita nak buang? Wasted. So now you can pause it and sambung balik after 8 minutes. And you probably want to know how this whole thing works, right? So I actually took the liberty or took the chance to ask them that question. But unfortunately, the audio was a little bit wonky. So I'll explain to you what I heard instead, okay? This here is a heating cylinder. They use this to heat up the tobacco. And I say heat and not burn. And there's a reason for that, but we'll get to that later, okay? So this device heats up the tobacco to release the nicotine in your system. What it also releases is water vapor and not smoke, all right? Why do I mention not smoke? Okay, because when you smoke traditional cigarettes, you burn it. And when you burn things, there's gonna be ash, heat energy, and smoke. This is because all the harmful substance that truly harms your body is found in that smoke. Which is why Icos Illuma I, that was recently launched, sesuai for those of us yang smoke. Okay? Sebab kita sedar berapa bahayanya that smoke and we want a different alternative, so we use Icos, the water vapor nicotine one. Alright? It's not a healthier option. Alright, let's be fair. Tapi sekurang-kurangnya, it is the less harmful option. Sebab dia can emit at least 95% lower levels of harmful chemicals berbanding dengan traditional cigarettes. Kalau ada je antara you guys yang still smoking but want to contribute untuk menjadikan Malaysia a smoke-free nation yang lebih bersih and safer for those around us, perhaps this change could be a first step. Well, that's the end of me talking. But overall, there are ways that we can do or change to make our country a better place to live. And it all depends on our choices. Question is, what's yours?